Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well, and I hope that you have an incredible day. I'm here to do an intuitive card reading to see what insights, guidance, and messages the universe has for us, especially revolving around, free will, choice, accountability, responsibility, truth coming out, that kind of thing. So let's take a look at the cards and see what the universe wants us to know. Okay. So right away, the universe sends Black Kyanite, set strong boundaries. That's the thing. A lot of people are used to, walking all over other people, manipulating others, twisting narratives to, suit their agenda and get what they want. Like, there are people like the toxic group of narcissists that I escaped from last year that would lie by telling the truth. They would say multiple things that were technically true and try to paint the story, but it'd be very twisted and contorted and it became such a mangled mess, and they would try to claim to have the high ground and that they were being, morally superior and they were being good people. It's like, but you're just doing that, you're twisting things to make other people out to be the bad guy when they're not even doing anything to you. They're minding their own business. So those types of people will not like having others in their lives have the strong boundaries, because people like the narcissist I escaped from are all about using other people as energetic supplies, having them as a means to an end, using them to fulfill whatever their wishes are at the moment, whatever their whims are. And if you, I came across this YouTuber and they describe these types of people as cry bullies. These types of people, they'll lie, they'll manipulate, they'll, hurt other people, mistreat them, be abusive, all these things. But if you ever even think about speaking up and even have the smallest little smidgen of pushback, even if you're not being mean, even if you're being super gentle and kind and loving and respectful, you're just calling out their behavior, they lose it. They go on and on and on about how hurt they are and how they make themselves to be the victim. They do the whole Darvo thing where they deny and accuse and reverse victim, whatever. I don't remember the specific terminology, but it's they switch it up, so it's they're the one that's the victim, you're the perpetrator, you're the one in the wrong. And it's just you were just calling it out and having strong boundaries. So these people are going to lose it. And they're going to lose it even more because the truth is coming out. People are bringing the receipts. They're just no. You don't get to twist the narrative anymore. You don't get to manipulate and have your way anymore. Enough is enough. People are getting pushed to the point of no return. It's no, I'm done. I'm not playing these games. You're tripping. I'm not here to be nasty, but truth is truth. And here are the facts. I have the receipts, I have the proof, I have the evidence, and it's being exposed, and they're not liking it. The whole thing with South Africa that happened recently, where it's just no, you don't get to pretend this isn't happening. Here's the literal proof. What are you gonna do now? And it's they'll still try to worm their way and everything, but the truth is coming out and it can't be hidden any longer. Certain people were able to pull the wool over our eyes, in the past, but it's just the old ways aren't working anymore. And it's because, people's awareness is growing and, they're just at their point where it's I'm not doing it anymore. I know I've mentioned what happened with this friend of mine that I'm not so sure I can call a friend anymore because they're still doing the things. But I was talking with my best friend yesterday about it, and she was going on about how she's yeah, I was trying to point out what she was doing was really hurtful and disrespectful. And she's and she kept saying, it was the truth, because that friend was trying to drag her in the middle and get her to pick sides and be look, see, I'm right, see? And it's just Then when my best friend tried to call her out and be like, hey, you said really mean, nasty, hurtful things about me and I didn't like it. And apparently that she didn't have anything to say about that. And it's just like, yeah, people are calling other people out. And there are going to be plenty of people who don't want to take accountability, who don't want to own up to what they did, who don't want to apologize, who don't want to make amends. And that's why these strong boundaries are so important, because these people will try to, emotionally blackmail us, guilt trip us, manipulate us, try to, get us feeling bad. And so, we concede and we give in to what they want. They're used to, having that emotional manipulation, those petty games, so that they can have, what they want. Because a lot of us that it happens to are kind, caring, loving people. We have strong hearts. We don't want other people to feel hurt. And so they use our conscience against us. But we are recognizing the tactics now. And we're not doing it anymore. We've had enough of these games. And another thing that was coming up was that people like my family, my brother, he's trying to say that he has no free will and that he can't be held responsible or accountable for anything that he does. And I'm like, what? Huh? I get that there's an element of things that are outside of our control. We can't control other people. We can't control external factors traffic or the weather. But to say you aren't responsible for your own choices, what? Are you serious right now? And just going on about how he's basically just some puppet and he has no free will and he doesn't make any choices for himself. I'm like, you very much make choices for yourself. You just don't want to own up to it. You don't want to realize you've given power away to certain people maybe. But it's no, you're still making choices. If you are choosing time and time again to disrespect and disregard other people and choosing to associate with the wrong crowds, because he does not have good choices when it comes to friends. They're not good, healthy relationships. They very much mistreating, abusive kind of things where they'll but I have to wonder if it's like attracts like in a way, because he does a lot of the things that they do. They're just a lot worse. But then it's also it's okay, is this because you're hanging around the wrong crowd so you're doing this? I don't know. But the fact that you're not willing to take any kind of responsibility or accountability is very much like my family. And the thing is, they don't try to, the rest of my other family, they haven't tried to claim they have no free will. He has, so I'm just I just look at him as so you're telling me that people who are in jail shouldn't be held accountable because there is no free will? And he's like, yep. And I'm like, what? I get there are certain things out of our control. There are some things with genetics, they can do wonky things and all this. And if other people are tampering with your body, with substances and whatnot, I get there are other elements, but to do that, no, people need to be held accountable. Yes, there's an element of a higher power involved. Yes, there are things that can be kind of predestined and that are, you're meant to meet certain people. It feels I was predestined to meet my best friend in 6th grade because we just clicked, and we are a good support for each other because we go through a lot of the same things, even though it's different situations. It's a lot of the same kind of patterns and things that we're experiencing, the whole dealing with narcissists thing and people, putting words in our mouth and twisting things. We have gone through a lot of similar experiences, even though they're different. It's we understand each other and can support each other and be this is what maybe you could do, and try to bounce ideas and stuff. But just say you don't have free will and you shouldn't be held accountable, it just boggles my mind. But that's why these strong boundaries are so necessary. We need to be more selective and intentional of who, what, where we associate our time, energy, and attention with. We cannot control these other people. We cannot control these other people who are no, I'm not responsible. I'm just the victim. I'm not accountable. I have no free will. Those types of people, we can choose to walk away. We can choose to distance ourselves. We can choose to cut ties. We don't have to keep putting ourselves in the same situation. And yes, it can take time to get out of certain situations, like a job, like if you need to make sure you have something else set up before you leave. By all means, take care of yourself. Be smart. Don't do anything reckless or to put yourself in danger, but we don't have to put up with it anymore. We can say enough is enough, no, and walk away. We don't have to keep subjecting ourselves to it. We don't have to keep putting ourselves in that situation. Which is why I try to very much limit my interaction with my family, because they're a lot, they're draining. And like, that's why I cut ties with the toxic group. And the narcissist is just like, other people are like, it's not right that, you had to leave these spaces and all this and that. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's not right. Yeah, they should be held accountable for what they did. Like, it's not okay, but at the end of the day, it felt like the best option for me to walk away, to remove myself from the situation, because it's like, I can't control them. I can't. They're going to do what they're going to do. They're going to make their choices. They're not listening. They keep doing the same thing. There's this nasty, vicious, toxic cycle. I don't want to be part of it. So I'm going to do what I can in my power and remove myself from the situation. Is it right that the, victim, the person who's being mistreated and abused and all these things and get on, the receiving end of all these smear campaigns and all this toxicity, is it right that that person had to be the one to leave? No, but I'm going to do what's best for my peace of mind and my well-being. Staying in that environment was not going to be good for me. So I chose to leave. I chose to have those strong boundaries. And they started creating all these sob stories about how I was being unreasonable, I was being dramatic, I was being, crazy and psychotic and overly emotional and all this, because I stopped talking to them. I tried to open up the, conversation and communication with, and be open and honest and vulnerable and respectful. They wouldn't listen. So it's like, why would I keep putting myself in that situation? It doesn't make any sense. And they did not like that I had the strong boundaries, and I said, no, enough is enough. I wasn't going to take it. And so they just kept trying to weasel their way back in and hoover me back in and manipulate and try to guilt trip me and emotionally blackmail me and use my conscience against me. They're like, oh, we're so hurt. Wait. And it's like, I'm not doing this to hurt you. I'm doing it to take care of myself. And I've tried to explain myself so many times. Other people have even tried to come in and be like, hey, calling you out, that's not okay to do. And they're just like, no. And so it's like, if they're not going to listen, they're not going to listen. Do what you need to do. Take care of yourself. Set those boundaries because you matter. People can be so very much. Yeah. Aragonite, release your emotional baggage. That's the thing. When you keep putting yourself in these situations, you don't take your power back. When you're not owning up and be like, you know what? What they did was wrong. It was hurtful. It was disrespectful. It was abusive, neglect, whatever it was. That's the truth. But also own up, like, with me, I was like, I chose to trust the wrong people. So what am I going to do now? I'm going to remove myself from these people who've proven themselves untrustworthy. They keep hurting me. And so I'm releasing that baggage. It's like, I'm not going to keep thinking like, why are all these people being mean to me? They're never listening, all this. I'm leaving. Bye. Not in a mean way. I still wish you the best, but this is not healthy for me. It's not. So it's just like, no, enough is enough. We don't need to keep doing this. And so, this is the same thing with family members. I've stopped speaking to them, not in a mean way, but it's like, they have tried to play it off like nothing happened after they blew up on me and said all these nasty, vicious, aggressive, hurtful things. And it's just like, and it was like an hour long or longer of them just blowing up on me and saying all these untrue, hurtful things. And it's just like, you're allowed to have your emotions. You're allowed to be human. You can make mistakes. Like, that's a part of the human journey. I don't hold that against you. What bothers me the most is that there were zero apologies, zero accountability, zero attempts to make amends, and you just try to act like nothing happens. Like, oh, this is under the rug, nothing happened. I was like, no. And so, enough is enough. We don't need to keep carrying this baggage around. It's like, You're going to either treat me with kindness, decency, respect, honesty, integrity, accountability, all of that, or you're not, and I will make decisions accordingly. And it's like, yes, I will give you grace. Yes, you're allowed to make mistakes, but if you're not even willing to own up to it, if you're not willing to take responsibility and accountability for your own choices, and you're trying to be like, no, I don't have no free will, no, it's not my fault, I'm the victim, it's like, good luck. I wish you the best, but I'm not going to stick around for it. And these people, they don't want to hear that. They don't want to realize that they're doing it to themselves. They're digging their own grave. They're reaping what they're sowing. They would rather, shift the blame and point fingers at everyone else. Because if everybody else is the problem, if everyone else is in the wrong, if everyone else is, being the one that's hurtful, abusive, whatever, they don't have to look at themselves and their own choices. They don't have to look at what they're doing to create the mess. It's everybody else that's supposedly creating the mess, So we can release that. We don't need to keep doing that. We don't need to associate with these people. Not in a mean way. Not in a like, oh, I'm doing this to get back. He's like, no, I'm just putting myself first. I am taking care of myself. I am protecting my energy. I am prioritizing my well-being, my peace of mind. No, enough is enough. No more of that. Yes. No longer holds power over you. Dissolve attachments of the past with love. That's the thing. Whether it be family, whether it be friends, whether it be co-workers and bosses, or like love partners, like exes, whoever it is, we don't have to let it hold power over us anymore. We can say enough is enough. I wish you the best. I have no ill will. I'm not being bitter and hateful and, vengeful and all that. I'm putting myself first. I'm choosing me. I am choosing to love, respect, and be kind to me. And so I'm dissolving those attachments. I'm not going to obsess over it anymore. I'm not going to fixate. I'm not going to drag this around as emotional baggage. I'm moving on with my life. I hope you do too, because these people, they can't handle it when you walk away, and they literally fixate and obsess over you and go on about how crazy you are and try to drag you back in. It's like, listen here. If I'm as bad as you say I am, if I'm as crazy and overly emotional and dramatic and causing all these problems and ruining things like you say, why do you keep trying to drag me back in? Why do you keep obsessing me? Why don't you just go on with your life? Oh, wait, it's because that's not true. You just want my energy. You want me to own up, quote unquote, own up to what I did when I did nothing. So no, I'm not doing that. And people are at their limits. They're fed up. There's no more of this, no more of these games. And honestly, I don't blame them, because these people have gotten away with it for so long. Yeah. Time to move on. Flow with the river and see where it takes you. That's the thing. It's time to move on. It's time to move on from those old cycles, that old patterns, those old, toxic people. It's like those toxic situations. You don't need to be a part of it anymore. You can leave. You have 2 feet. Well, most of us do anyway. You can choose to walk away. You can move. You're not a tree that's rooted in the spot. You have the ability to leave. Yes, it may not always be easy. Yes, there may be other factors involved that you need to work out. But you can start making choices to prioritize your peace of mind and well-being that put you first, that are not, subjecting you to all this pain and all this hurt all the time. You don't need to do that. And yeah, the universe wants you to stay the course. You're moving in the right direction, even if there's all this turbulence and friction and drama and conflict coming up, because you are having those strong, healthy boundaries, because you are choosing to dissolve those attachments and let go of the baggage and move on. These people, they're used to the old you. The one that would put up with their nonsense. The one that would apologize to them and try to make things right with them because they managed to make you feel guilty and, emotionally blackmail you and guilt trip you and all that. And that they've had their explosions, so maybe you would go quiet and you would try not to rock the boat because you're like, I don't want them upset. I love them. I care for them. And it's just like, stay the course. you're growing and learning, improving, and becoming the best version of yourself, you don't want to revert back to your old ways. You're shedding the old. You're letting that go. You're moving on. It no longer has power over you. Keep those strong boundaries because it is so necessary. It's so necessary. You are moving in the right direction, so do your best not to falter. It's okay if you slip up because we're all human. It's okay if your emotions are getting amped up because they're pushing your buttons and they're trying to drag you back and all that, but stay the course. Keep going. Move on. You don't need to keep playing out those same old toxic patterns with other people. You don't need to play their games. Yeah. At the end of the day, what does your heart want? Be free to manifest your heart's desires. Do you want those games? Do you want that manipulation? Do you want the emotional blackmail? Do you want the guilt tripping? Do you want other people treating you like that? Do you want to be in environments that are toxic? Odds are, I really, really doubt that. So, listen to your heart. Listen to your soul. Be true to yourself. Don't settle for less. Don't play small. Don't, concede because that's just, that's just the way life is. No. Have the healthy boundaries. Put yourself first. Don't put up with the nonsense. Because there are going to be all these people who will try to, convince you that you're in the wrong for having those healthy boundaries and saying no. It's like, other people don't get to mistreat you. That's not okay. You can find people, places, and things that have the energy that matches yours, that resonate with you, that treat you with kindness, respect, love, and common decency, that are honest with you, that are open with you. You can find them. But if you are reverting back and be like, well, I guess this is the best it gets, how are you going to find that what you really want? If you are putting up with nonsense, if you are lowering your standards and, making concessions and allowing them back in when they've done you dirty so many times, how are you going to have those healthy relationships? How? How are you going to get what you truly want? If you are making excuses and justifying the nonsense and the manipulation and the petty games and all the hurt and the mistreatment, how is that going to work out? Not in a mean way, but genuinely how? How are you going to get the life you want if you keep making excuses and, letting the dirt and the ickiness and the toxicity back in? Why are you letting it seep in and poison you? Why are you letting it muddy up your life and get it all dirty? That's the thing. If you, just cleaned up your house or your car, whatever, you're not going to let someone come in with those muddy boots and walk all over and jump on your couch or walk on your seats. You wouldn't do that. That's what these people are doing energetically when they're mistreating you, when they're manipulating you, when they're guilt tripping you and, coercing you into things you don't want and twisting logic and making themselves out to be a victim and, all these things. They are walking all over you, your boundaries, your energy with those muddy boots. Don't let them. Have the healthy, strong boundaries. It's vital so you can get what your heart wants. And yes, it can be easier said than done, but it's so important. Don't settle for less. Yeah. Creative solutions. Think outside the box. View things from a higher perspective. That's the thing. You don't have to settle for the old. You don't have to settle for all the, solutions you had in your past. You can find new ones. You can think out of the box. You can align yourself to what you truly want. And by getting it in alignment and resonating with that energy, you allow it in. But if you keep falling back and letting these toxic people into your life, if you don't hold them accountable, if you don't have those healthy boundaries, it's not going to work out, unfortunately. See it from the higher perspective. You can also do it from a place of love for them. If they think it's okay to mistreat other people and, lie and manipulate and all these things, how is that being loving to them? How is enabling that bad behavior being loving to them? It's not. It's hurting them, whether they realize it or not. And so having the strong, healthy boundaries, holding them accountable, is actually way more loving than just trying to appease them. Like, think about it. Like, they are going to struggle so much with having those healthy relationships and being able to make those meaningful connections if that's how they are in life. So, maybe you don't have to stick around for it because, they're just not listening. But if you don't plant those seeds, if you don't hold them accountable and have those strong, healthy boundaries, they're going to keep going through the same cycles. They'll never learn that it's a problem. Because odds are, time and time again in their life, they've come across people who will ultimately end up enabling them and, giving into them and, conceding to them and all that. We're moving on. We're having healthier solutions. We're doing better. We know better now, so we're doing better. Yeah. Pure intention. Find clarity. Surrender your ego. That's the thing. Like, so many of these people who aren't, willing to take accountability or apologize or make amends or anything like that, they're not coming from pure intentions. They are all caught up in ego and, potential past trauma and all these things. They're like trying to like prove that they're right. That's the thing with these people. So often they're more concerned about being quote unquote right than being happy. Like, how many of them do you know that are actually genuinely happy? Because I know that toxic group and the narcissist, they weren't happy. Sometimes they pretend to be, but they weren't actually happy. They were very insecure. They were miserable. And like they just lashed out that nasty energy onto other people and tried to drag them into the mess. So you come from pure intention. Come from a place of love and respect and kindness for yourself and be like, no, I'm not here to be like hurt you. I'm not here to lash out at you or, plan your downfall or anything like that. It's just like, I'm just saying enough is enough. You're not being loving. I'm not going to tolerate it. My intention is pure. I have the clarity. This is not okay. I will not allow it. You can either change your behavior, which is your choice, or walk away. That it is what it is. Truth is truth, Be a beacon, be an inspiration, light the way for others. That's the thing. Honestly, it can be terrifying to stand up for yourself, to speak up, to have those healthy boundaries, especially if these people can be so angry and aggressive and loud and potentially even physically abusive, but they can definitely be mentally, emotionally, psychologically, verbally abusive as well. And so it's just like, it can be terrifying, especially when the norm is to not speak up, to keep quiet, to not, rock the boat. But it's just like, if you do stand up and speak up for yourself and you keep to your standards and your values and you have those strong, healthy boundaries and you're not letting the nonsense and the drama and the chaos and the conflict and the petty manipulative games win anymore, you are staying the course, you are staying true to you, you are going to inspire other people to do the same. Sometimes people need to see an example in order to realize that it's possible for themselves. So you have the power, you have the potential to be that beacon of light and hope. You can light the way for other people. So, not that you owe anybody that, for the record, but that can be a beautiful blessing you can give the world. And so don't let other people trip you up and try to get you to go back into the old ways. For you and for other people to a lesser extent, you can be service to others in that way, but for your own sake, do what's best for you. Don't put up the nonsense. Don't let them keep hurting you. Yes, it can be easier said than done, but don't let them do it. Don't let them. Right. Swan self-worth. You know your worth. You know you deserve better. You are not going to put up with the nonsense anymore. That's the energy that keeps coming in from people I'm talking with all the time. People are done. They're not doing it to be mean or nasty or hurtful. They're just done. It's no, I have reached the point of no return. This is the straw that broke the camel's back. This is my boiling point. I'm not having it anymore. And it's not they're going around exploding on everyone, although some of them probably are, because things that we have gone through, guys, like, it has been a lot. It has been icky. Like, I don't blame people for being mad and, like, blowing up on other people, because, like, the things, like, the smear campaigns they were having on me, and then going on like I was crazy and I was the one in the wrong. It's like, I'm not attacking any of you. I'm minding my own business and trying to process my emotions and, like, come from a calm, level-headed place and have this open, honest, vulnerable conversation with you and be, you know, respectful and mindful and considerate and kind and loving. And you're like, you're projecting so hard, guys, and, like, that's your energy, not mine. I don't know what to tell you. Like, yeah, we're coming from a place of innocence and, like, purity, like that pure intention. We're not here to play those negative, petty, manipulative games, to go into the drama, the gossip, the smear campaigns. Like, we're not of that energy. And, like, they try to drag us into it and be like, no, see, everybody's like this. I'm like, no, not everybody is like that. Hate to break it to you, but no, not everyone is like that. Yeah, we have ostrich. The choice is clear for you now. Follow the wisdom and truth you feel in your heart. That's the thing. We feel it now. Like, we know. It's like, no, we're done. No more of this. No more. Enough is enough. These healthy, strong boundaries are in place, and it is not budging even a fraction of an inch, a centimeter, nothing. Like, no. It's a hard line in the sand. You do not get to cross this line. If you do, it's like, maybe that means you cut ties. You're like, no more of this. It's just like, people aren't getting it. Duck. Find comfort and balance in simple ways. You have support all around you. That's the thing. There are people who may be supporting you behind the scenes that you don't know about. The universe is always supporting us. Like, people get it. Like, even if you don't realize it, it's probably because people haven't been talking about it, but we're getting to the point where we're speaking up and sharing stories and all that. There's support for you out there. So don't think you're alone. You don't have to go it alone. We got people all around us that will help us. And yeah, Bluebird, you are being gifted with blessings of happiness and peace. And it's because you're not putting up with the nonsense anymore. It's because you're not playing the games and getting sucked into the drama and the conflict. Like, it's unnecessary. You don't want that life. You're like, it doesn't have to be this complicated. Here's what's acceptable. You can either, you know, accept that and be a part of my life or not, and then we go our separate ways. You know, you do you. But I'm going to do me, and I'm not here for the nonsense and the mess. Yeah. Release. Let go of old patterns and beliefs that no longer serve your highest good. Embrace freedom in your life. That's the thing. When we get with these other people, they can trip us up, and, like, we get restricted, we get chained up, we get bound, and we don't need that anymore. We can free ourselves, live true to ourselves. We can stick true to our boundaries and our values and, you know, standards. It's not wrong to have standards and preferences and, like, be like, no, this is acceptable, this is not. If you can't treat me with kindness, decency, respect, honesty, integrity, accountability, all that kind of stuff, I don't need you in my life. Not in a mean way, but I just know I'm done. You're making it simple. Simplification. Simplify your life and focus on what truly matters. Declutter your mind and surroundings for greater clarity and effectiveness. And this could be in terms of simplifying your circle too. Who you choose to associate with. Because I was talking to my best friend, and, like, we were both at that point where it's like, no, we're going to make things simple. If you're going to do these dramas, you're going to choose these games and all that, you can choose that. We just won't be here for it. We just won't be. Not in a mean way. Not that we're wishing for your downfall or anything, but it's for the self-care. It's because we are prioritizing our peace of mind and well-being and protecting our energy. We're not doing it anymore. Practice self-care. Ensure you're getting enough rest and engaging in activities that bring joy into your life. And if these people, places, and things aren't bringing joy in your life, if they feel super heavy and they're dragging you down and they're making you miserable, stop choosing it. Stop choosing it. Like, Yes, it can take time to get away from it with certain things because, there are all sorts of factors involved with stuff, but you don't have to keep choosing it. You don't have to keep putting yourself in that situation. That's what we're realizing. We're just like, no, enough of that. And yeah, it's all about this change. Embrace change and take courageous steps to unlock opportunities for personal growth and spiritual transformation. We are done with the old versions of ourselves. We are turning the page to a new chapter and embracing a better life. Better relationships, better healthy boundaries and communication, all of that. We're ready for the new. It's like the year of the snake. It is the year of the snake right now, and like the snake, we are shedding our old skin to become this new version of ourselves, to have a healthier, happier life. And we're just not doing it anymore. Yeah. It's enough is enough, Not in a mean way, but chain of events that will affect your life. And it can start off simple, but then it's just boom, 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 like what happened with that person who wanted me to be accountability partner, and what happened with that toxic group and the narcissist. It just one thing led to another, and then it's just things can't go back to the way they were. I know too much now. I've seen too much. You have revealed your true colors. You're not willing to, own up to things or make amends or apologize, and can't go back to the way it was. We reached the point where it's nope, we're done. No more of that. And it can lead to, new solutions. And, not everyone will like it, but know that the four-leaf clover is bringing great good fortune to you. You have the universe's blessing on your side. The universe is backing you up. Yeah, flag. Don't be tempted to lower your standards. Don't do it. Don't decide to let people break your strong, healthy boundaries. Don't lower your standards. The right people will find you if you keep your standards. It may take time, but know your self-worth and don't put up with that. You deserve peace and harmony. You don't deserve the nonsense and the mess and the unhealthy games and all that. No, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Yeah. Flowers, happiness. You can have the happiness. You can have the peace and the harmony. It'll work out for you. And in the end, a sincere wish will be granted for you. The universe is here, but you need to release. You need to simplify. You need to prioritize self-care. You need to get clear on what you want. You need to move on and have those healthy boundaries and be like, you know what? If you can't do it, that's fine. You do you, I'll do me. We'll go our separate ways. But yeah, it's a hot mess. People aren't wanting to be accountable for their own actions. They want to blame everybody else, and we're just done with it, right, guys? The universe is even saying, enough is enough. I am giving you the signs. Are you going to keep letting this happen? Are you going to keep letting these people in? And my best friend and I have reached a point where it's no, we're not. And I feel like so many people in the collective are reaching that point too. So I'm wishing you all a wonderful rest of your day. Please take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye.